Stop. Don't scroll past this. Read this with absolute focus. A warning has been released for you right now. Not as a threat, but as strategic intelligence. The next 7 days possess a spiritual quality that rarely repeats. Archangel Michael doesn't confirm this kind of window without a specific reason. You need to understand what is standing right in front of you before the first 24 hours slip away. I'm going to give you the Hebrew name for this 7-day window. You're going to understand why what you do during this period carries the weight of a covenant, not just a routine. There is a decision you've been putting off. It's not for lack of information. You already know enough. It's something between fear and a caution that feels reasonable. But if you're being honest, it's lasted much longer than it should have. You've promised yourself you'd start something. A change, an action, a leap of faith. You said, once X happens, I'll do it. Well, X passed. Then Y showed up. Now you're waiting for Y to clear. You haven't realized that the delay has become your default setting, not the exception. You felt a restlessness in your spirit lately. Not anxiety, restlessness. Like there's something you should be doing that you aren't. Like you're standing on the edge of something, but haven't crossed the line yet. Deep down, you're aware that there's a version of your life that exists in potential, but hasn't manifested yet. You find yourself asking, when? And the answer never comes with a date on the calendar. It's not a lack of faith. It's not spiritual laziness. It's something between the procrastination of someone who doesn't recognize the window and the genuine fear of someone who's been let down by previous windows. What keeps you standing despite the unrest and the delay is that something inside you hasn't given up on that potential version of yourself. You still believe there is a when. You just don't know if that when is right now. Before we finish, I'm going to give a name to what you've been feeling for months. I'm going to hand you an actionable 3-step protocol you can execute tonight before you go to sleep. And at the end, I'm going to declare something over your life that will still be echoing in your spirit tomorrow morning. If you feel the weight of what I'm describing, stay until the very end. Do not break the connection. Stay with me. There is a tool built specifically for these windows of 7, because entering the window without removing the blockages is a waste of the Shavua. I'll show you that in a moment. Keep that in the back of your mind. If you need to leave early, that tool is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment below. But stay until the end. Without the context I'm about to give you, the protocol won't have the same authority over your household. Close your eyes for a second, or at least look away from the screen. Don't analyze, don't defend, just let this land. I'm going to describe 5 signs. If I'm right about at least 3 of them, you and I will both know exactly why you stopped here today. The first sign, you are here right now. This isn't the algorithm. The algorithm served it, but you clicked. On some level, a part of you knew there was something here for you. This is the beginning of recognizing the window. You didn't click out of generic curiosity. You clicked because something inside you recognized that this message arrived at the perfect moment. This isn't a coincidence. It's confirmation that you are standing at the entrance of something big. The second sign. The restlessness started before this video. You've been feeling like something was closing in, like the conditions were lining up. This video didn't create that feeling. It named it. For days, maybe weeks, you've been waking up with that sensation that something needs to be done. You can't quite put your finger on it, but the unrest is there. In your chest, in the back of your mind, in your thoughts right before you drift off. This video didn't bring the unrest. It confirmed it has a name and a purpose. The third sign. You have something delayed that is exactly the size of this window. Not a 10-year project, a decision, an action, or a conversation that fits into 7 days, but you haven't taken it yet. You know exactly what it is. I don't need to say it. It's that item on your mental to-do list that stays pending. You promised yourself you'd handle it, but something more urgent always pops up. The delay has started to feel normal. But you know. And you know 7 days would be enough if you just started. The fourth sign. You've missed a window before. You know what it feels like to reach the end of a season and realize the moment has passed. That specific memory is why you're paying such close attention right now. You remember. Not with guilt, but with the clarity of someone who recognizes the feeling of a door closing while you were still deciding whether to walk through it. Something in you decided this time would be different. This time, you'd pay attention to the signs. This video is one of those signs. The fifth sign. The number 7 has been appearing to you recently. In a dream, a verse, or just in passing. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Just a reference. The Shavua was announcing itself before you even knew its name. Maybe it was a Bible passage about 7 days. Maybe a dream where the number stood out. Maybe a situation where something happened 7 times. You didn't give it your full attention then. But hearing this now, you remember. You recognize the pattern forming. Stop for a second. How many of those 5 hit home? 3, 4, 5? If at least 3 resonated as a recognition, not a coincidence, then you know this message didn't find you by accident. If you recognized at least 3 of these signs, go down to the comments right now and write, "I recognize the window. I am stepping in." Declare it before you even understand everything. The first step of a covenant is the declaration of entry. What is declared in public words carries a different authority than what is merely thought in silence. And if you have to go, the miracle journal is in the first pinned comment. Those 3 signs are the exact markers of someone at the entrance of a Shavua. That tool was built for the person who recognizes the window but needs spiritual cover so they don't waste it. Close your eyes again or look away from the screen. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you won't work if your attention is divided. There is a word in the original Hebrew that most people have never heard, and the cost of not knowing it is high. Without this word, you'll keep treating the next 7 days like a regular week. Just 7 more days to get through. 7 more days to survive. You won't realize there is a specific spiritual quality in this window that doesn't exist in others. The word is Shavua. In English, we just call it a week, 7 days. A unit of time on a calendar, Monday through Sunday. Neutral, common, repetitive. But Shavua doesn't mean that. The original root is Shiva, 7, which in turn shares a root with Shavua, an oath, a covenant. In biblical Hebrew, 7 isn't a neutral number. It's the number of a pact. When Abraham made a covenant with Abimelech, he set aside 7 animals as a witness. The place was called Beer-sheva, the well of the oath. The next 7 days are not a common week. They are a covenant window. A Shavua, where what is done or left undone carries the weight of an oath, not a routine. Shavua appears 78 times in the Old Testament, almost always in the context of a covenant, not a calendar. When Daniel prayed about the 70 weeks, he wasn't just counting neutral time, he was recognizing 70 cycles of covenant. When Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, it wasn't just 7 years, it was a Shavua, a period of covenant that carried the weight of an oath. You aren't being warned about a difficult period. You are being called into a covenant window. What you position in the next 7 days won't just affect this week. It will define the pact that determines your entire trajectory moving forward. You aren't entering just another week. You are entering a Shavua. Everything you do within this window has covenant weight. Now that you know the name, you need to understand the mechanism. Recognizing the window isn't enough if you don't know how to operate inside it. Think of Joshua and Jericho. 7 days of circling the city. Most people think it was just a military strategy. It wasn't. It was 7 as a pact. On the 7th day, 7 laps. The number of the covenant executed in action before the walls ever fell. God didn't say, take 7 steps and the wall will fall if you have enough faith. He said the 7th day was the window. The window was the mechanism. Joshua wasn't testing to see if God would come through. he was operating inside a Shavua. Each day of circling wasn't neutral time. It was a day of covenant. On the seventh day, when the pact was complete, the structure blocking their progress collapsed. Not just because Joshua had faith, but because the Shavua reached its end with active positioning. Think about it. A contract has a signing deadline. Once that deadline passes, the conditions change. New terms have to be negotiated. The Shavua window isn't a threat. It's the deadline where the current favorable conditions are still available. After the 7 days, it's not impossible. It's just different. You haven't missed your moment. You've been arriving at it through the only path that could lead here. Now you're at the entrance. The window is open. The warning reached you before it closed. Let me stop for a full minute and put this into plain English. No poetry, no metaphors. Just the facts of what you know now that you didn't know when this message started. Shavua appears 78 times in the Old Testament. Every major biblical transition was preceded by a 7-day window that required active positioning. You are inside one of those windows right now. And here is who you are in the middle of all this. You are the window recognizer. Most people don't recognize when they are inside a Shavua. You did. That positions you differently from everyone else in this same window who is oblivious to it. Recognition is the first half of entry. When you clicked this video, when you felt that unrest, when you identified those signs, you recognized it. That is your identity. You aren't a passenger. You are a recognizer. What this identity authorizes is this. You have permission to act within the window without waiting for every condition to be perfect. Recognizing the window is the signal that you've been called to enter. Not tomorrow. Now, you are the covenant carrier. You are carrying a promise of partnership. Not because you signed a piece of paper, but because the Shavua itself is a covenant structure. Your positioning in the next 7 days carries spiritual weight beyond your circumstances. You aren't just making a choice. You're entering an alliance. And an alliance isn't a temporary deal. It's the structure that defines your future path. What this identity authorizes is this. What you do in the next 7 days will not be forgotten when the week is over. It will be sealed as a pact. You aren't trying things out. You are defining terms. You are the trajectory definer. The next 7 days will define the next cycle. This isn't pressure. It's strategic intel. You aren't a passenger to what's about to happen. You are the one setting the course. The window was opened for an active participant, not an observer. You were recognized as someone capable of defining the path. That's why the warning came. That's why the unrest started. What this identity authorizes is this. You have the authority to break the pattern of delay. Not because you suddenly got stronger, but because you recognized you are inside a Shavua. Inside a Shavua, authority works differently. If one of those 3 identities bothered you more than the others, that's the one you need to step into the most. Go to the comments and tell me, which of the 3 identities do you feel the most resistance toward? And if you aren't subscribed to this channel yet, do it now. Not as a favor to me, but because the next message prepared for you needs a clear path to find you. Turn on the notifications too, so the next word reaches you while you're still inside the window, while the Shavua is still potent. Now, the protocol, the Shavua protocol, the first 3 that define the 7. 3 movements for the next 72 hours. First movement, name what you are going to do in these 7 days. Not a whole list. One thing, the one thing you know you've been putting off. Give it a specific name. Don't overthink it. The first thing that popped into your head is the right thing. Write it down on a piece of paper, put it in your phone notes, or say it out loud. Give it a name. What remains nameless cannot be positioned inside a Shavua. Second movement, declare the covenant. Say this out loud. This Shavua is not a common week. It is a covenant window. What I position now carries the weight of an alliance. I am stepping in. Don't say it with excitement. Say it as a formal declaration. You just named what you're going to do. Now you declare you are entering the window to do it. Declaration is what transforms intention into a pact. Third movement, make the first move today. Not the whole thing, the first step. Something that breaks the pattern of delay. Small enough to be done tonight, but big enough to be real. If the thing you named is a conversation, send the text to schedule it. If it's a financial decision, do the first bit of research or make the first call. If it's a lifestyle change, execute the first version of it before you go to sleep. The Shavua doesn't require you to finish everything today. It requires you to start. The sign that you've completed the protocol is this: a very specific clarity about what comes next. Not euphoria, clarity. Like the fog of indecision has been lifted by exactly what the Shavua promises: covenant discernment. You'll know you've finished when the unrest you felt before this video is replaced by a purposeful stillness. Not a passive peace, but an active quietness. The stillness of someone who has entered the window and knows what needs to be done. Now look down at the first pinned comment below. Don't click yet. Just look at it and acknowledge it's there. It was while looking for answers to these very questions that I found the Miracle Journal. 21 days to unlock the blocked blessings in your life. Recognizing the window isn't enough if you walk into it carrying the baggage of all the previous Shavuos you missed. Most people enter the window without clearing the residue. They waste the Shavua trying to move while carrying the weight of what wasn't cleaned out. The Miracle Journal works with the 3-cycle protocol: break, cleanse, possess. 3 7-day cycles. 21 days total. Cycle 1. Break. Identifying and dissolving the specific blockages that turn windows into missed opportunities. Not generic blocks, yours. The ones that make you delay when you should act. The ones that make you wait for perfect conditions when the Shavua is calling for active entry. Breaking isn't about trying harder. It's about removing what prevents action. Cycle 2. Cleanse. Removing the residue of previous Shavuos that weren't utilized. Every window that passed without positioning left a residue, a memory of a missed opportunity. That residue creates hesitation in the next window. Cleansing isn't about forgetting the past. It's about removing the weight the past places on the present. So when the next Shavua opens, you enter clean. Cycle 3. Possess. Positioning yourself as an active definer, not a spectator. Stepping into the 3 identities: recognizer, carrier, definer. Operating within the window with the authority those identities carry. Possession isn't about taking by force. It's about stepping into what has been designated for you. 21 days. This is a tool that was found, not invented. Found by studying how biblical figures operated within covenant windows and why people today still waste them because they don't know the name or the mechanism. And with the journal come 2 bonuses that stay with you even if you ask for a refund within the 7-day guarantee. Bonus 1. The Prayer Guide. 15 prayers for specific moments, including the prayer for entering the Shavua. For those moments when the pain is too deep to improvise or you can't find the words. When the unrest is so loud your own prayers feel blocked. You open the guide and the structure is there. Bonus 2. The Psalms Manual. 10 Psalms with meditations and declarations. The 10 Psalms for covenant windows. To be opened first thing in the morning. Your first thought defines the tone of your day. If the first thought is doubt, the whole day carries that tone. This manual gives you the right psalm to open before your mind starts processing on its own. 7-day guarantee. If within 7 days you feel this wasn't for you, ask for a refund. No questions asked. No bureaucracy. The bonuses are yours to keep. The risk is all on us. The only risk left is not trying. It costs less than a latte and a bagel at the coffee shop. Less than Friday night takeout. Less than a happy meal on a Saturday afternoon. Less than the week's worth of coffee you'll drink while procrastinating without this protocol. Now, pay attention. That voice whispering right now. See it later. Decide tomorrow. Now isn't the time. You've already blown this week. That voice isn't yours. It sounds like you. It uses your vocabulary. It knows your excuses. But it is the voice of whatever is trying to keep your blessings blocked before your next victory. Hesitating now isn't prudence. It's losing the first day of the Shavua. Click now. While you're still in the window. While the warning is still alive in your chest, the link is in the first pinned comment. Click it. Step in. The Shavua is already ticking. Listen to these three people who recognized the window, started the protocol, and saw what happens when you operate inside a Shavua with cover. David, 43. He had delayed a reconciliation talk with his father for 4 years. On day 3 of the protocol, he made the call. It didn't fix everything instantly, but the Shavua opened a door that had been deadbolted for years. He said he'd tried to call a dozen times before, but always hung up halfway through the number. On day 3 of the journal, he just dialed. The hesitation was gone. Sarah, 29. She had a business idea she kept saying she'd start later. On day 5 of the protocol, she registered the LLC. She wasn't ready, but the Shavua demanded action, not perfection. She realized that she'd been waiting for 100% readiness, and 100% never comes. 2 weeks later, her first client appeared. The Shavua doesn't wait for perfection. It waits for positioning. Linda, 55. She felt she'd wasted so many of God's moments out of fear. On day 2 of the protocol, she recognized the pattern and made the first move on a decision that had been pending for 7 months. She said that during the breaking cycle, she saw clearly that the caution she'd been priding herself on was actually just a blockage. She acted, and the rest unfolded within the window. Now consider the cost of doing nothing. Inaction on 3 scales. Today, every hour that passes is the first day of the Shavua being consumed without positioning. The Shavua doesn't wait. It runs. Every hour without action is an hour of covenant wasted. That's just a fact. You are in the window, and the window has an expiration date. Every week, another cycle of an unrecognized, unutilized window. Shavua happens in cycles. If you waste this one, the next will come, but it will come with the added weight of the one you missed. The hesitation will be even stronger next time. Every year, the pattern of delaying during covenant windows becomes a legacy. Your children learn to ignore their own Shavuas because they watch how you operate. If you operate by delaying, they learn to delay. What should be a cycle of progress becomes a cycle of waiting, and waiting becomes the inheritance. What comes next only works inside the window. The journal is what ensures you don't leave the window without truly entering it. Entering without cover is a waste. Click that pinned comment now. Not after you think about it. The first day of the Shavua is already running, but don't leave yet. The ceiling isn't over. What I have to show you next is bigger than any protocol. It's the exact name of what is happening to you right this second. The moment you start operating on what you just received, and this will happen in the next 72 hours, 3 specific things will be launched against you, not as a possibility, but as a certainty. First tactic, the false urgency. An urgent situation will pop up that feels more important than your Shavua positioning. It will be real, but it's designed to consume your window with non-strategic noise. A problem at work, a family drama, a demand that seems immediate. It will feel like you need to handle that before you can enter the window. Don't fall for it. Don't let the urgent kill the strategic. Second tactic, spiritual prudence. Someone will say, or you will think, shouldn't I pray about this more before I act? It will sound like spiritual discernment. It's the most sophisticated tactic. It uses holy language to produce inaction. Prayer is vital, but there's a difference between praying to discern and praying to delay. If the unrest was there before the video and you recognize the signs, you have enough discernment. Now is the time for action. Third tactic, first day fatigue. After you make your declaration and your first move, a disproportionate tiredness might hit you, like it wasn't worth the effort. This is resistance disguised as physical exhaustion. You'll make that first move, and a few hours later, you'll feel drained for no reason. Recognize it. It's not your body needing a nap. It's the resistance trying to stop you before the second move. And there's a fourth enemy, your own voice disguised as maturity. What if it's not the right time? What if there's another Shavua later? That's not spiritual honesty. It's a survival mechanism. You've been here before, but before, you didn't have a protocol. Always there will be a reason to wait. The Shavua is exactly now. Not in ideal conditions. Now. With whatever you have. Covenant doesn't wait for perfection. It waits for a person to take their place. Close your eyes now. Place your right hand over your heart. Take a deep breath. This isn't for your mind to process. It's for your spirit to receive. Now hold your right hand open, palm up, like you're signing a document with your whole being. I release you from every previous Shavua that passed without positioning. Release them without guilt. They were for learning. This one is for doing. Say it out loud. I let go. Again, I let go. A third time, I let go. I release you from all procrastination disguised as caution. Name it. The voice that says, wait a little longer. Not yet. You need to be more prepared. Release it. Say it out loud. I let go. Again, I let go. A third time, I let go. I release you from the fear that the window will close before you're ready. You are being called, not audited. The Shavua isn't a test. It's an invitation. Say it out loud. I let go. Again, I let go. A third time, I let go. I release you from the version of yourself that waits for perfect conditions. The Shavua doesn't need perfect conditions. It needs your presence. Say it out loud. I let go. Again, I let go. A third time, I let go. Now a summons. I summon the window recognizer. The identity that knows when it is inside a Shavua. You have the authority to act. Recognition is your entry ticket. I summon the covenant carrier, the identity that carries the alliance. What you position in these 7 days will not be forgotten. It is being sealed as a pact. I summon the trajectory definer, the identity that has the authority to break the pattern of delay. You are not a passenger. You are the one at the helm. Inside a Shavua, your authority is amplified, sealed. Now listen. The voice of the Father. I saw you when you delayed that decision for the first time. I wasn't absent. I was preparing you for the moment when delay would no longer be an option. Some doors only open when all the others have been closed. The Shavua you are entering now is the door that only opens when the stalling ends. I saw you in the unrest of these last few days. I was whispering the name of the window before you even knew there was a window. That unrest wasn't anxiety. It was recognition. Your spirit knew the Shavua was here before your mind had a name for it. I saw you when you missed the last window. I was teaching you the cost of staying outside, so that when this window opened, and it is open now, you wouldn't hesitate. The memory of the missed opportunity isn't meant to paralyze you. It's meant to propel you. I saw you when you put your hand on your chest just now. I was sealing it. What's sealed in the spirit cannot be undone by circumstances. You have entered the window. You are the recognizer, the carrier, the definer. What I have for you is available within these 7 days in a way it never was before. Enter. Not tomorrow. Now. The window is open. All that remains is for you to cross the threshold. I will be with you every day of the Shavua. In the first move, the second, and the third, until the 7th day when the pact is complete, and what was a promise becomes a possession. I cover your mind so the voice of delay no longer sounds reasonable. I cover your relationships so no one can talk you out of your now. I cover your timing so these 7 days have the acceleration only a Shavua can produce. I cover the decision you named so the first move happens tonight. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. Don't say amen yet. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. The anointing has been confirmed in heaven. Now it must survive the first moment of testing on earth. The Miracle Journal is in the first pinned comment, not as a replacement for this message, but as a companion to defend what has been sealed. Less than the cost of a coffee. 7-day guarantee. The risk is ours. The move is yours. Click now while the decree is still fresh. Not after your shower, not after you talk to someone, because the first person you talk to will have a reasonable opinion that will cost you your breakthrough. Those who leave it for later, leave it for never. That voice whispering, decide tomorrow, that's not you. That's the gatekeeper of your current struggles trying to stop your next step into victory. Click that comment. Now. The Shavua is running. Now you can say it. Amen. Don't leave yet. Before you go to the comments and write, I am entering the Shavua. I am the definer of my trajectory. The window is open, and I am crossing now. Sign it like a contract you intend to honor tomorrow morning when this video is just a memory. During this message, a name came to your mind. Not a group, a specific person. Someone whose delayed decision you recognized as your own. Send this video to them, right now, while you're both still in the window. One day they will remember it was you who sent this when they needed it most. And there is the next video aligned to find you exactly after this one. It's about what happens on the 3rd day of the Shavua. Why that is the most critical day of the covenant window. Click the video on your screen right now. Don't break the connection. The Shavua is continuous. The next message is ready for your next move. It is done. You are not the same person who started this video. Sit with that for a moment. Breathe and go. The Shavua is running, and you are already inside.